Easy.
Yeah. Why? Ow. Ow. Ow.
You guys are crazy. What are you doing?
Why? Suck it.
Yeah, definitely.
Suck it.
All right.
And it almost like gets to the moon, almost out of space, and then comes back down. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. This is take 2 because I just had to restart the camera because the first time I watched it, I just broke down. Don't do it again. For crying out loud. Okay. Whew. Smash it down. Smash it down. I'm good. I'm okay. It's not sad tears. It's happy tears. I was digging through pictures of Apollo because if my memory serves me correctly, that whole time frame was a little bit cloudy, but he passed away in 2018 in October. And I was thinking about him because I have a friend who's actually dealing with something similar as far as a sick dog. And hearing about that was rough. So I started thinking about Apollo, and then I started digging through pictures, and I remembered how much Muff and he gravitated towards you, Grace. He loved you too. Especially you as a little tiny baby. He kind of hovered over you a lot. And they're called the nanny breed, if you don't know that, pit bulls. They're very protective of children, and they do a good job at it too. But I saw these pictures of him in bed with you, Muffin, and whenever you're on your iPad, he's with you, and it's emotional for me for a bunch of reasons, but essentially he was my last dog. And I know we got Roger and Klaus, but my last dog in the pack, we had a big pack of dogs, and so many dogs came and went through our lives. And for me, Apollo showed up in 2009. Let's see if I can find it. How fast am I? There it is. So that's Apollo the day we adopted him. You got Brian and Boosie in the background. So Apollo and Boosie and Brian, and Lucky's back there somewhere. But he had been alone. Apollo had been very alone for a long time. He'd been in the shelter for like a year and a half or something like that. It was ridiculous. Or at least that's the story that was given to me to tug at my heartstrings. So a coworker of mine sent me a picture of him in a cage, and I couldn't say no. So the next day we adopted him, and he joined the pack. But he had been alone for a long time, and dogs should never be alone, ever. I'm not talking about other people. Dogs, just like people need other people, dogs need other dogs. They are pack animals. They are not supposed to be solitary. If you have a single dog, by yourself, you are just, I really hate to say this because I don't want to disparage anybody, but you are essentially a vampire on that dog. You are just taking the energy from that dog when you want it. Give the dog a friend, just like kids. Kids should not be only children. That's why we had two of you. That was a plan. That wasn't an accident. So he finally had a family. And then over the years, his friends started just disappearing. First Brian went. And then Lucky went not long after that. And then Zeus was there, but Zeus started having, he got old. He wasn't as playful with his friend. And so then Zeus goes away. And now, who's this? Oh, 1 second. As usual, I'm picking up overtime at work. And I got that approved. Beautiful. I love my overtime. Got to stay busy. But Zeus went away. And that was about the time that I went back to flying. So all these people, me, Zeus, Brian, Lucky, that Apollo had, were gone. I was gone 3, 4, 5 days at a time. And he didn't know what the hell was going on. He just sees his friends disappearing, and he doesn't know what's happening. And he's back to being alone. And I can sense that he was struggling. He was having it rough. And sometimes it wasn't hard to sense. He would just chew things up out of nowhere. He'd never done that before. He was having what's referred to as separation anxiety. He was alone. And that can do damage to a dog. Eventually, he developed a tumor. And I'm pretty sure it was in October of 2018. I know it was 2018. But he ended up having a seizure in the middle of the night. And it was too much. And so, let's see here. You guys came with me to the vet. That's your last picture with him. And then this was my last picture with him. And I'm struggling right there. I mean, I look at that picture of me, and I know what's going on in that gigantic melon on my neck. I was struggling really bad. Struggling is a complete understatement. But I was having it rough, and my expression is kind of cold. I've shut off emotion at that point. I've gone to a very, very bad place, and to know that he was going away messed me up because I felt like a bad dad. I felt like right there, I feel like I failed him as his dad, essentially. And it messed me up, and that was one of the bigger factors in me essentially having an emotional and mental breakdown. It's very difficult to deal with. It's better now because I've, as they say, processed it. It makes it better, but the pain doesn't go away. It's just you're able to compartmentalize it and deal with it in a relatively healthy way. My way of dealing with it back then, I know for certain that night I went home and got drunk. 100%. I needed to smash down those emotions as much as I could. And no, that's not in any way healthy. There are more effective ways to deal with it. Is it more painful? Yeah. To deal with those emotions is a more painful thing. But the long-term effects of that, it's a better outcome than to just smash it down and have it eventually just blow up like it did. So, and again, I think I say this a lot, but that's a reason, not an excuse. I'm not making an excuse for my behavior, because there are people out there. He's making excuses, substantiated. No, that's not the case. This is a reason. The difference. If you miss work because you're hungover, okay, well, that's a reason you missed work. It doesn't excuse the fact that you missed work or school or whatever because you were hungover and weren't able to go. But if you miss work because you have explosive diarrhea and you just don't want to go contaminate the workspace, well, okay, that's an excuse. We can deal with that. It's beyond your control. Maybe don't eat the 3 tostada plate at Taco Bell. Work on it. That's the difference. Is when there's when it's a reason, you're working on the reason that it happened. I can feel my heart like beating. It's like this weird, not weird. It's this pain that I let him down. It's the same kind of pain of me letting you guys down. And, yeah. And then the whole thing with the birds happened and opened up that wound. That was a rough one. But, so that's Apollo. We are grateful for Apollo. Show the gratitude. That's the difference. Some people become resentful. Why did you take him from me, Lord? No. I'm grateful for the time that I had with Apollo. I'm grateful for just about everything these days, which is wild, but I attribute the successes and the blessings that I'm getting to that gratitude. Science literally is studying this, and scientists who were atheists are becoming believers in a higher power because of this weird stuff. I say weird. I know exactly what it is. It's God saying, you're welcome. That's what it is. That's what blessings are. Hey, you're grateful for what you have. You're not resentful for what you don't have. You're welcome. Here you go. It's just like a parent. If you just constantly bitch at your parent and go, I can't believe you didn't buy me that new Maserati. This is silly. Why, my God, I hate you. Well, that parent's going to be like, okay, I'm going to do something else here. But if you go to your parent and say, hey, thank you for trying. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I love you. Thank you very much. That parent is going to turn around and go, I got you. It's the transfer of love, the transfer of life energy. Can't emphasize that enough. But having that dog energy is super important. I've said it before. Dogs are like ATMs for love. Whenever you want love, go to a dog, and they will give it to you. Try and give them a source of love too, because they can't just constantly be just giving it out. I mean, they do a pretty good job at it. That was the reason we went and got Roger and Klaus. And I warned you guys when I went there. I don't know if you remember, but I said, you guys, you were in the back of the car. I'm like, okay, we're going to get dogs. We're going to get some dog energy in the house. When we get in there, it's going to be rough for Dad, okay? Dad's going to have a rough time. All that crying and howling. I walked in there and I lasted 30 seconds, if that. And I saw those first 2 dogs that were right there. I said to the girl, give me those. And I turned around and you guys wanted to go see all the dogs. I couldn't do it. And I remember the girl goes, you want both of them? I said, yes, both of them. I'm not going to take one away from the other one. Give me both. Let's go. Drove home with 2 dogs. And then, of course, I got the wrath from your grandparents, mostly. Why would you do something like that? Oh, my God. You just went and got dogs and you didn't ask permission? Don't be those people. Don't be the people who question other people's decisions. Explain yourself to me. Tell me why you did that. I deserve an explanation for why you did that. Right? Oh, you got dogs. Okay. Well, good. I don't know. Don't question other people's decisions. That's a terrible thing to do. All right, don't digress, Dad. Pull it together. So, but even with Roger and Klaus, who I love dearly, the pain of missing Apollo was, at the time, more than I can bear. Then I went and freaking wrecked the car that Mom gave me. That happened shortly after that. I was a mess. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm so sorry. I wish I had been stronger. I wish I had been this person. Now people come to me for strength and to figure out what they should do in their life, which you decide what to do. I got a phone call. Was that yesterday? It was yesterday. You know, I attend these domestic violence re-education classes that your CLR says I have to do to not have a negative opinion of her. So, and it's a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. Why? Well, because for the first time, I've now met multiple dads who are going through the exact same thing. They've gone through the playbook that these attorneys now use. And it's identical. I've told you this. I've already said it. And it reassures me, like, okay, this isn't just you. Because for a long time, I felt very alone. Like, this is only happening to me? No, it's unfortunately happening to a lot of dads. It's a terrible idea on the part of these attorneys and the moms. A terrible idea. That you're not looking at the long-term consequences. You have to prioritize later. It's a super important thing. Let's see if I can pull this up. How fast am I? What is that guy's name? There we go. Let's see here.
What's the most meaningful life lesson you've learned thus far?
What's the most meaningful life lesson? What, like, bit of...
So I don't know Jimmy Carr's story. Super intelligent guy. And I do enjoy his stand-up routine. His stand-up routine is a combination of humor and also like an intuition, where he gives just a little bit of insight into not the meaning of life, but more so the best way to approach life. He has the analogy, I'm not going to pull this one up, but he has the analogy that we are in escape rooms. We're each in our own escape room. And if we just treat an escape room as like, well, I'm just going to have fun with my friends, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get drunk, and I'm going to go over here and check my hair, and I'm going to look in the mirror and do this kind of egocentric type stuff, you miss the point of the escape room, our reality. But this one, somebody asked him, what's the biggest bit of wisdom that you've come across?
Wisdom? I think what all self-help could be sort of summarized in 2 words. Prioritize later. That's the whole thing.
So the crowd thinks he just told a joke because they're misinterpreting the words. They're misinterpreting the statement. They think he is saying, prioritize later. Don't worry about prioritizing now. Do it later. Like procrastination. But he is saying something totally different. He is referring to the future. And you prioritize the future as opposed to right now.
prioritize later. And if you think about it, it's even religion. God is the future. You sacrifice something now for a better life in the future. That's what work is. You sacrifice something now for a better future.
It's what love is. Sacrificing your pleasure now for a better future later.
So, prioritize later. That's it. It's that simple. Did you want a funny answer?
So, the idea of alienating kids from their father so you can get the satisfaction now, that's a really bad idea. And that's, like I've told you many times, sociopaths and psychopaths don't consider the future. They do not in any way. And they're not always murderers, but when a sociopath or a psychopath does murder somebody, it's because they're not thinking, my God, this person won't exist in the future. I'm going to have to deal with repercussions of murdering this person in the future. They don't do that. They're just consumed with, I want what I want right now. Okay. You can try it out, see how that works for you. I've witnessed more than I can count instances of people who are just consumed with right now, and then they essentially have to deal with hell later. So, Jimmy Carr. Oh, that's and guilty. Been there, done that. Like, for example, the pain of dealing with Apollo. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to deal with that pain. I was consumed with, I need to smash this pain down right now. Give me a beer. Give me some whiskey. I need to, as of right now, I need to smash this down. How did that work out? Not too well. So, learn from Dad's mistakes. Okay, enough about all that. I got a present that I have to share with you because somebody very close to me gave me this, and it's a metal card with me and you guys, and on the backside it says, "Fly safe, Grace and Amy need you." I won't make any silly jokes. It's my go-to for feeling flattered. When I feel flattered by something, either a compliment or something like that, a nice present, my go-to is to ridicule it and say, well, fly safe. Well, where's the fun in that? Okay, I'm going to fly safe. But it was so rewarding and so meaningful to me to get that and have that little boost of, I know what you're going through. I know you love those girls. Keep going. My go-to statement for everybody. Keep going. Keep going. Don't think that accomplishment you made yesterday is the end of your road. Keep going. I see that fairly often too, of people who think, well, I did this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. Somebody very close to me and you guys, in a family circle, not really emotionally close. All they did was talk about Vietnam in 1968. I went to Vietnam. I did this in 1968. I did this in 1968. Cool story. What have you done since? Because that person did not keep going. Even if the story was true, which it wasn't, that was 30, 40 years ago. What have you done for me lately, as Janet Jackson famously said. I don't know if you'll get that reference. Look it up. But to get that boost of like, hey, you're doing good, it keeps me going, keeps me motivated. And like I was saying before, at first going to these domestic violence classes, I was like, oh God, here we go again. But I met these dads who made me feel like, oh, okay, it's not just me. Okay, we can all keep going together now. And we can all better ourselves. We can prioritize later. And we can do that together. Super, super satisfying. And even in that group, I don't want to sound arrogant in any way, but I've noticed that those men gravitate to me. All the guys kind of do, because the vast majority of the men in there, if not all of them, are very dejected and very down. And they're just kind of somber. They're thinking that now I've been labeled domestically violent. My life is over. These are young guys too, 25, 26, some even younger than that. And their lives have been destroyed because they've had this label put on them, so that other people don't have to take accountability. Did they do things that were wrong? Yeah. To say one person's at fault in any relationship whatsoever is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. I don't want to go down a road of victim shaming. And by the way, shaming is on that person, not you. If somebody says, don't shame me, and we talked about this last time, shame, 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 that's an emotion you are experiencing. I'm not going to mute my speech because you don't want to hear something because you're going to have an emotion. If you feel shame, that's on you. Anyway. As weird as it sounds, I'm grateful to be going to these classes and interacting with these men and finding the Facebook groups and the social media groups of the other fathers. A lot of fathers going through the same thing. So, yeah. They reach out to me. Like I said, I got a phone call from one of them. And they want me to solve their problems. Now, I'll gladly listen to their problems. Give them, a shoulder to cry on. 100%. I got no problem with that. But when they say, what should I do? Nope. I'm not going to go down that road for a bunch of reasons. Mainly because if I tell you to do something and it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, or the way the most ideal way, you're going to blame me. I want nothing to do with that. But the other thing is, people who solve your problems are not your friends. People who tell you that you can solve your problems, those are your friends. Anybody that tells you what to do, get the away from them as quickly as possible. Oh, you need to do this. You need to do that. Substantiate it. You need to I have glasses on. So this is what you're going to do. 100%, that is somebody who's a train wreck of a person. And they're trying to live vicariously through you to see what happens. You are basically an experiment for them at that point. Get the hell away from those people. I speak from experience when I say, when you get away from those people, your life gets better. So, anyway, like, for example, last point on this. A friend of mine called me up twice, and I didn't answer. Why? Well, you don't love that person. Yeah, I do. 100% love that person with all of my heart. But this person is essentially lost in life right now. And for a short time, I was there and I said, hey, it doesn't matter which direction you go in life. Just start going a direction. Don't do nothing. Do something, and the path will present itself without fail. And so this person thinks I have like solutions for them, and I don't. The only solution I have for them is that they, and only they, can solve their problems. And they can. They 100% have the power to do that. And it's exactly the same relationship that we have with God. People pray for things. Just like this person called me, people will call God and say, God, I want a new job. I don't have enough money. I want to lose weight, whatever it is. I don't have any patience. And then they don't get an immediate response. God's listening. I promise. God is listening. God is telling those people and all of us, you go solve your problems. God helps those who help themselves. It's a cliche. That's like the fifth siren. What's going on today? When I had my, when I did the first recording and I started crying, same thing. Is there a pyromaniac on the loose? What the hell's going on here? That's not funny, actually. Been some nasty fires around here. So, just because God doesn't take the call, so to speak, doesn't mean God's not there. God is just sitting back going, handle it. I've given you all the tools you need to handle the situation. Go do it. And it's the classic example. I love my exercise. I love it. I see people at the gym and they have a spotter. Bench press. That's what all guys do because you got to do the bench press, right? And they'll be benching and they got a spotter who, I'm going to show you how strong I am and how much of a friend I am. And they're lifting the weight for the person. What the hell good are you doing? You're not helping that person. You are trying to get like accolades and recognition. Ooh, he spotted me. He took all that weight off. I guess I can't do it. No, you sit there, one finger. That's how you spot somebody, with one finger. Maybe the other finger too. And you lift that much. That's what God does for us. You got it. You got it. Bars crashing down onto the guy's neck. Ugh, come on, you got it. Here, I'll give you a finger. Here, just a little touch. Why didn't you help me? You got it up, didn't you? You did it. Exercise and flying. There's always an analogy for exercise and flying in any situation. You got to go do the uncomfortable thing. Exercise. And you got to go do the uncomfortable thing in life. If you just do the comfortable stuff, if you just remain comfortable, you're prioritizing now. Prioritize later. So, which, by the way, my legs are noodles right now. I was so excited. Segue. Planet Fitness just opened up over here in the shopping center. And I was as happy as a little girl on her birthday. I saw that place open up. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I just gone shopping. And I went, oh my God, there's a Planet Fitness. I went over there and they were open. I'm like, you guys 24 hours? Dad has a little insomnia issue. And I do have the home gym, and that's great. But I like going to a gym for a bunch of reasons. Socialization, a lot of fun too. Being with like-minded people who are exercising and trying to get the demons out. I signed up. This was what is today? Today's Saturday. This was Tuesday. So Tuesday night I signed up, and Wednesday morning I was so excited. And I went over there, and it was 1:10 when I showed up in the afternoon. And I stayed there for 4 hours because I was just so, it was like a candy shop for me. I had been going to the YMCA. And the YMCA is good. But there are two main groups at the YMCA. There are the people that are super old and aren't really exercising, and they tie up the machines. Then you got the kids coming from the high school across the street. 3:15 happens, and all of a sudden it's this flood of kids, and they're on their phones tying up the machines. I wanted to be in a place where other people are exercising as hard as I am, and again, just being with like-minded people. It's tough to find out who the like-minded people are in our lives, because so often we don't know who we are. And even if we do know who we are, if our priorities, why did I say that funny? If our priorities aren't what they're supposed to be, we will end up with people around us who we think are like-minded, but we are really changing ourselves to fit in with them. And that's another snowball effect. For me, I had to, and this is for a lot of people, I had to be solitary for a very long time to find out who I am. I recommend that to everybody. Be solitary for a while. Find out who you are. I heard this analogy a long time ago of your inner self is trying to talk to you. But if you're at a concert where there's a ton of other people, you're not going to hear you. If you're at a party where there's a ton of other people, you're not going to hear you. You have to go someplace quiet with you and get to know you. You have to understand yourself before you can go and be with like-minded people. I found out exactly who I was, became very comfortable with myself, and even got to a point where I love myself. That was something that I never could have said 5-6 years ago. In fact, I thought it was bullshit. Utter bullshit when people said that they loved themselves. It's not. It's real. And in order to love yourself, you have to know yourself. The only way to love yourself and know yourself, be solitary. Spend time with you. I can't emphasize that one enough. So now I go to the gym. I'm with like-minded people. I go flying. I'm with like-minded people. It's rewarding. I go to the domestic violence class, and I'm with like-minded people. It is remarkable, and I'm grateful for it. There was a podcast. I'm not going to be able to pull it up in time. I'm not going to do it. But one of these scientists who studies quantum theory and essentially what reality is, they study this stuff as scientists, talking about how science is now finding out that when someone shows gratitude, they don't have the capacity for the other nasty emotions. They just don't have it. And I attribute my ability to push away the resentment and anger and nastiness because I'm just grateful for literally everything I have. I'm also grateful for the things that I don't have. I'm just grateful for everything. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. Try it out. If you're constantly trying to get revenge on people, you have no ability to have gratitude for what you do have. It's vice versa. So, yeah, Planet Fitness. I was able to, through finding myself, I was able to find my passions. They're in there for all of us. Every single person out there is and male or female, but everybody is born with passions. And if you're just surrounding yourself with other people who are just noise, 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 oh, I have to go be with my friends. I have to go be with my friends. I have to go to dinner. I have to go to a party. I have to go to this. You don't know you, and you don't know what you are passionate about. I've said this to people before, to some of these guys in this class and to some of the guys that I helped in the sober houses. It is imperative for men to have a passion to succeed in life. The litmus test, the way for a female, super easy, to find out what kind of man you're dealing with, sit down with them. Start talking with them. Great dating exercise, by the way. Sit down with them, and at some point, after they're nice and comfortable, just say to them, what's your passion? What's your drive? What's your motivation? What's your goal? And inevitably, there'll be men who say, well, I just want money. Everybody kind of wants that, because money is just a reward for the time you spend doing things. That's all it is. But it's a cop-out. Like for me, I'll give you the example of me. I don't know where it came from. I mean, I do. I say that. It came from God. My passion for flying. And then I had a passion to become a Navy pilot. And then at the time, I didn't know why. Ultimately, I discovered it was because of you guys. You guys had not even come into my life yet. But my drive and my passion was, I need to be successful at this so I can ultimately take care of my little girls. That passion then morphed into other things, like it should. Like I said, you start down the path will present itself as you go, even if you don't know what you're doing. It just presents itself, and it presented itself. That's if you ask me, Forrest Gump nails this 100% accurate, because Forrest does not know what he's passionate about. He just knows he just wants to keep going in life. And he just keeps taking every opportunity. The path presents itself for him in that movie. Now, he goes through a lot of pain in that movie too, but ultimately he ends up in a little bit of a paradise with his son. And he just keeps going. And for men, inevitably, when I ask them, what are you passionate about? I don't know. Okay. Well, there's not too much you can do with that. Because then what is your meaning of life? What's your purpose? What's your why? Tell me why. Well, I know why. I want to do this. I want to do that. And don't, like I said, if they say things like, well, I want to be rich, or I want to be an influencer, I want to be a YouTube star, I want to be a rapper. Okay, well, maybe, but those aren't necessarily attainable things. What's your short-term goal? What is the short-term thing that you hope to accomplish? When a man has that, that is a genuinely productive man. I'm going to go ahead and do it. If you're 25 years old as a man, haven't done anything with yourself, and you get your partner pregnant, and then you get a job at Travelers Insurance and just sit there for 40 years, No, okay, you've done nothing with yourself. You're kind of not useful to anybody in any way. When a guy just keeps going and keeps trying to better himself, that's the sign of a good partner, because that person will also motivate you and you will motivate him. And it's that same transfer of energy that I was just talking about with the damn dogs. You need energy, you go to the dog. Dog needs energy, it comes to you. It's that same kind of thing. It's real. I know I'm all over the place, but it's up here. It makes sense. I don't know. All right, how about some YouTube videos? I've been rambling for so long. The point is, in all of that, you may not know what your motivation is for life, but I can assure you this. It's not your friends. So many people, wow, I need my friends. I don't know what I would do without my friends. Okay. What are they doing for you? Why do you need that? Are you not capable? Like, what happens if all of your friends vanish? Well, that won't happen. Well, okay, maybe it won't. But what if? So you're just living for your friends? Okay. That seems like an awful waste of a life. Are they a nice little addition? 100%. If you have a set goal, set motivation, set path that you're on, and you have like-minded people that you run into and that you occasionally spend time with, phenomenal. Great. But when each night you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I have to call this person. Oh my God, I have to call this person. Oh, I have a party to attend. Oh, I have this function to attend. And it's just constantly appeasing other people and checking boxes. You just missed out on your life. You missed out on what God gave you as a passion. And almost always, the people that miss out on that passion don't believe in God. Okay, well, if you don't believe in God, it's up to you. It seems like a pretty fruitless life. And it doesn't just seem that way. That's what I've seen out of these people. Like, come on. Get going. Ditch those people. Go do you. Like, literally go do you and what you're meant to do. We all have a purpose. Okay. Jeez Louise. YouTube videos. Let's check the scroll. Let's check the feed. What's going on? Jesus declares himself the Messiah. You know, I love my Jesus. Oh, this movie, The Chosen. Oh, so good. They had a totally different take on Jesus. Jesus in this series, The Chosen, is more human than he was in any other depiction. And I love it. He's just a guy. And that's what Jesus was. He was human. He had all the same emotions that we do. All the same experiences that we have in the human state. He had it. And I love the depiction.
That it won't matter where you worship, but only that you do it in spirit and truth.
That's how the Messiah comes.
So I've watched it, and I loved that scene. Because if you don't know already, Dad doesn't go to church. I know, some people, you gotta go to church. No, it doesn't matter where you worship, as long as you worship. And you don't have to go sing to worship. Again, God is just like us. We are made in his image. And girls, I swear to you, now it might be cute if you came to me and sang, Dad, we love you so much. Okay, that might be cute like once or twice. No, just come and tell me you love me. Just hey, come give me a hug. Tell me you love me. It's kind of weird if you start singing to me. No, we have to sing. No, what you're trying to do is you're trying to be the person that holds up the hands and closes the eyes and wants everybody to see just how spiritual and religious they are. Oh, look, I'm in touch. No. Jesus said, when you pray, go pray by yourself in solitude. Don't go to a church and just get a guitar out and hey, all right, the Lord is saving us. It's like, knock it off.
It explains everything.
So this is when he reveals himself to actually be Jesus. The woman at the well.
Sorts this mess out, including me. I don't trust in anyone.
This Messiah you speak of, I am he. The first one was named Ramin. You were a woman of purity who was excited to be married. But he wasn't a good man. He hurt you. And it made you question marriage and even the practice of your faith. I have not revealed myself to the public as the Messiah. You are the first.
I am rejected by others.
But not by the Messiah.
I'm going to tell everyone.
I was counting on it.
Spirit and truth.
Spirit and truth.
It won't be all about mountains or temples.
Soon, just the heart.
Makes me happy. Oh, Nicole. All right, he had a bunch of things to say in there. Doesn't matter where you worship. You don't have to go to church to worship. But the woman, she's suffering. She feels rejected by the world. Sound familiar? If you're feeling rejected by the world, it's because you're not being you. You haven't found you. When you are you, you actually don't care if other people are rejecting you because you see them for exactly who they are. Anybody who would reject another human being hasn't found themselves. Terrible stuff. What's Nicole up to?
Yep. Jesus.
Oh, all right. Which, by the way, okay, she said Jesus. You shouldn't take the Lord's name in vain. That's not taking the Lord's name in vain. That's not what they were talking about. It's not what God's talking about when he says don't take the Lord's name in vain. Just saying Jesus, probably not the best thing to do. Kind of using it like a curse at that point. But that's not taking the Lord's name in vain. Taking the Lord's name in vain is when you pretend to be an agent of the Lord and you are a deceitful person. Some of these televangelists get people to send them money through saying that they are preaching the word of Christ. And here, send me money and I'll heal all your ailments. That's taking the Lord's name in vain. You are trying to use the name of God to benefit yourself. That's a big difference. It's such good energy. I love it. She spends a lot of time in solitude, as you can tell. She's out there in the damn forest, chopping wood constantly. And she has found herself. And she's happy with herself. And she loves herself. And she doesn't worry about the world rejecting her. Solitude. Does it hurt? Yeah. For a little while. Then it becomes absolutely amazing because Nicole, like many people, found herself.
If life was nothing but great.
Got old Matthew. All right.
Green lights, and we didn't have yellows and reds, things that make us pause, hardships, crises, times for introspection, then what the hell would it all be for? We need the yellows and the reds. That's how we evolve. That's how hopefully there's some ascension to our being. That's how we give some credit to time and growing older. I would say to my 50-year-old self, go fail more. If anything, I would say to you, go fail more. Forget them. Those people on the sideline that are saying the thumbs down or calling you something or being snarky, they're on the sidelines for a reason.
Go. Look at the look in his eyes. The guy knows what he's talking about. Super good connection with God. And he understands exactly what this escape room is all about. Go fail more. Do it. I can't stress this enough. So many people that I've run into. What if I don't know if I can do that? I can't do it. And what if this? And what if that? Just go fucking do it. Just go. But people are going to make fun of me.
Do you remember the movie Inglourious Bastards? Christoph Waltz, who plays the Nazi, he's chillingly brilliant. How good he is in this Nazi role.
It's a great
right?
movie.
And he's relaxed, and he's got a sense of humor. He doesn't play this caricature of evil. So he was on a talk show, and the host asks him, what did you have to do as an actor to play evil so effectively? And you literally look, he's got this look of total confusion on his face. He doesn't understand the question. He goes, what? And the host says again, you were so good. What did you have to source yourself from to play evil? You're so scary.
Yeah.
And he looks at the host and goes, he wasn't evil. And this is why he was so good in his role, because what he understood is no one thinks they're evil.
No.
Everyone thinks they're on the side of good.
100%. You are not going to come across anybody, hopefully, that thinks they're evil. Nobody thinks they're evil. The classic example, Hitler. Hitler didn't believe he was evil. He thought he was doing something good. And I've been asked about this, and I've thought about this a lot. Well, how do I know if I'm evil or not? Well, you're not evil. You might be doing some evil things. And there's a way to test it. Super simple way to test it. What is it, Dad? Do you have to lie about what you do? That's it. Do you have to lie about what you do? If you have to lie about it, if you have to hide things, if you have to deceive people, if you have to manipulate people, well, see, I'm going to lie to them, but I have a reason to lie to them. You're doing evil things. That it works in every situation. So you know deep down if you're doing things that are not cool. Are you able to tell the truth about what you're doing? Just that simple. And by the way, now that I can tell the truth about everything I've done and everything I am doing, the weight of the world has been lifted off of me.
So I found this quote from Timothy Leary, and it's really fantastic. I think that you'll like this. Find the others. Admit it, you aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider.
Well, this is somebody who hasn't found themselves. If somebody is saying this quote, they haven't found themselves. And the reason they feel like they don't fit in is because they are trying to change themselves to fit into the group that they have surrounded themselves with.
Every time you say club passwords like "have a nice day" and "weather's awful today," eh?
Oh yeah, I really despise "have a nice day," "good morning," "good night." Those simple statements that have no emotional meaning behind them. I can't stand that stuff. You know, the stuff. That's something a Walmart greeter says to a person walking by. It's not something you say to a loved one.
Things like, tell me something that makes you cry, or what do you think deja vu is for?
There you go. Tell me something that makes you cry. Deja vu? Ooh, that's a deep one. But what are your passions? A Walmart greeter is not, when you walk into Walmart, they're not going to say, what are you passionate about? No, they don't care. Someone who cares. Tell me about your passions. And be careful of the ones that don't have any.
Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But what if that girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on a conversation with a stranger? Everybody carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence.
Oh.
Trust your instincts. Do the unexpected.
100% nobody comes in your life by coincidence. 10,000 million quadrillion percent. When someone comes into your life, they are there for a reason. To an extent. You have to be doing God's plan. Like I always said. I told you the story about the guy who wrecked his car and then, because he was drunk. And they said, well, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, that happened because you got fucking drunk and you wrecked your car. Stop trying to put this on God because you decided to go get drunk. When you live in God's plan, you unfortunately have to at least believe in something higher than yourself. But a lot of people won't.
Find the others.
There's not a whole lot of dudes that are taking accountability. I fucked up bad, like crash and burn type shit, hurt a lot of people. This is kind of part of being a man. It's like, you kind of gotta fuck it all up a little bit.
Not kinda, you 100% have to. And it's the men that are afraid to take those chances that you have to stay away from because they serve no purpose. Find the men, especially for you girls, find the men that are okay taking chances. The ones that are not afraid to fail. Not the ones who get comfy at a job for 40 years. They serve no purpose.
I think so. I think part of learning is dying. I think part of learning is you gotta die a little bit. Because what is learning? Learning is me giving up on my old shit, my old ideas.
So I have a theory about this. I think that when Jesus died and got resurrected, that was a symbol to us as humans. That at some point we have to, like he says, and I think he's on to the same kind of wavelength that I am. We have to die and let go of our old selves. And then we are reborn. I like to think that anyway. And it sure feels that way. Don't be afraid to let your old self go. It's that classic example I give to people. Hey, if you wanted to go to, Moab, Utah, beautiful place, and you got in your car and you started driving, and then 6 hours into the drive, you're like, holy shit, I've been going the wrong direction. Well, what do? Do you keep going the wrong direction? Or do you turn around? Well, if I turn around, that's, God, I just went 6 hours. I got to get another 6 hours. Then it was 12 hours to Moab in the first place. That's 18 hours. Shit. Well, you got to decide. What do you want to do? Do you want to keep going in the wrong direction? Or do you want to go to Moab? Which, by the way, Moab, go check it out.
Those ideas have to die for me to be open to some new shit. And so me learning how to be a better man, I had to die a little bit.
And when you kill shit inside you, man, there's a fucking hole. And you don't know what to put in there. Right. You just gotta find the right food.
Okay. When do you become a man? When you get a driver's license? Like, what do we do? You're 16, we give you a driver's license. Okay, well, wait, like, you get a job? Mm-hmm. Like, when do you become a man? You become a man when you become responsible for other people.
The rule, it's a pretty straightforward rule when you want to get back on your feet, and the rule is you have to make the task small enough so that you'll do it. No.
AI is listening to me. Didn't I just say, just do something? I'm not talking about the long-term goals here. Just find something to do the short term and then keep going. Jordan Peterson, one of my favorite people on the planet, just
so that you'll do it. Make the task small enough.
Small.
So that you'll do it. No matter how small that is. If you make the task small enough, I've never seen anyone not be able to progress if they made the task smaller.
Same, by the way.
There's a specific person that you've got to get out of your life right now. It's the person that wants to remind you of who you were. It's the person who wants to.
Well, this is all tied together. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah. Hold on.
Remind you of how you used to be, what you used to do, how you used to do it. That used to person's dead.
Dead.
Anybody who wants to.
It's all the same kind of. I swear to God, it's listening to me through the AI. But we have to die and let our old selves go. And then there are people who want to remind us about the person that we were. Not who we are now. Well, see, 4.5 years ago, he did this. 5 years ago, he did this. If there's an agent of the devil, that's them. They don't want to see you grow. This is the crabs in the bucket analogy. If you don't know what that is, when they catch crabs in a bucket, there are some crabs that try to crawl out of the bucket and get themselves to freedom. Without fail, there are crabs that drag them back down. Nope, you're here with us. And there are people that want to remind us about the stuff we've done in the past. Sick, sick people.
Resurrect that person cannot be in your life. There is nothing more important than getting people out of your life. They want to pretend you're the person you were yesterday. Yeah. They want to act like you're the person you were yesterday. You're evolving, you're growing, you're advancing. You need to be focused on you right now, and anybody that wants to bring you back, anybody that wants to pretend you are the same person that they knew 1, 2, 6, 7 years ago, get them the hell out of your life.
That one, yes. I don't even know how much I agree with that. There are people out there right now who want to remind me of all the terrible things I've done. And I've literally said to these people, I'm not going to engage with you. I'm not engaging with you. You go ahead and go down your road of destruction, which ultimately leads to real solitude. Those people end up alone. Very, very alone. Get those people out of your lives. Oh, that's a big one.
Like, how do you know? How do you spot them? I don't think you spot them. I think you feel it. You know? And I think it's a lot easier for us to especially define a bad friend. Like, how do you know? How bad friend. I don't think you spot them. I think you feel it. You know? And I think it's a lot easier for us to spot than we think it is. One of the easiest ones is, can you be yourself? You know, sometimes they're not a bad friend. They're a bad friend for you because you are not revealing yourself to them. And so they are being friends with the idea of you, but they're not being friends with you. And then you leave thinking, I don't feel good. But they don't even know you. So you can't blame them for being a bad friend.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't know you because you don't know you. It's not necessarily their fault, I understand.
I almost don't think there's such a thing as a bad friend. I think you're just in a bad friendship. Because they could be a great friend to somebody else. So I wouldn't even define them as being a good or bad friend. I just go, this is a bad friendship for you.
How come all the scary guys are the nice ones?
If you are intimately familiar with violence and you are capable of violence, the less you have to prove and the less amount of violence you have to do to ever be successful at anything. Like, you're 100% right. These monsters out there are the nicest people on the planet. And it's because they're capable of doing so much. Jordan Peterson talks extensively about a man being pushed to his absolute limits. He should be capable of doing violence. And he's a good person because he chooses to be kind. Like, if you're not capable of hurting somebody and you don't hurt somebody, that doesn't mean you're good. It just means you're useless. But if I'm able to take your off, but I choose to be kind and gracious and giving and selfless to you, now I'm good.
The first thing that I...
Yeah. Gonna leave it at that.
See in people is, to what degree does this person feel like they are not enough? What are they trying to add on to who they are? Like, are they adding on all kinds of decorations or super loud clothing?
What's like a neck tattoo, for example, mean?
A neck tattoo is obviously for other people to see, because your eyes can't even look down there. The stuff that's going on inside is, I alone am not enough. I need more. When you're meeting somebody, go through that process in your head of, like, what is indicating?
Same thing. I alone am not enough. I gotta go have friends. I gotta get these tattoos to fit in. Yeah, I have tattoos. I have tattoos that I literally use to keep me motivated. That's what they are. The one on my back I can't see, that's advertisement, 100%. I want people to know exactly who got me to where I am.
Getting to me on this person of them not feeling like they're enough. If I ask them about that, are they honest? Will they tell me that they're doing this because, they feel insecurity? Or
They're going
they
to say,
feel
I'm doing it for
anxiety?
me.
Or will they be honest and not just go hard on wearing this costume?
And if they go hard on the costume, what does it tell you?
That's they are not enough, and they probably believe.
You get it. Oh, finally an ad.
Every time I tell a story, I just start smiling.
Man dies and learns we have it
Because it all
completely
comes back.
backwards. I've seen this one. Near-death experience. Near-death experience, which I didn't have a near-death experience. I just had a extreme spiritual experience where I was shown the two paths. The path of what I refer to as the path of light and the path of darkness. I made my choice. Anything funny?
So psychopaths, you can't spot them because they're so good at imitating certain behaviors.
They're very good.
I'm looking.
One of the
Come on, give me something funny.
I'm your only customer. Why are you always polishing the glass? Trick of the trade. Makes people nervous when a bartender just stands there. So lay some bart.
There's no doubt about it. This damn microphone is listening to me, and AI is producing a feed. Whatever.
Tender wisdom on me. I'm lost in space here.
I feel lost in life.
You want to be. You feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else. You said it.
If you feel like you are supposed to be somewhere else, you haven't found you. Go be solitary. And stop thinking that the negative things in life are negative. That's a matter of perception. It's like, well, I'm not supposed to be here. This is bad. I'm going to actually wrap it up with this last one. Because kind of beating this to death with the feed I'm getting. Gratitude. Jocko Willink. One of my favorite people on the planet who helped me to find myself. Talks about how everything is good. It matters. What matters is our perception of it.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on, and he'd say, "Boss, we got this and that and the other thing," and I'd look at him and I'd say, "Good." And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem, and he said, "I already know what you're gonna say." And I said, "Well, what am I gonna say?" He said, "You're gonna say good." He said, "That's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good."
Wrong and bad. Why? Why is it wrong? Why is it bad? Well, if it's a matter of morality, wrong and bad are very easy to determine. Don't kick puppies. Don't kick anything. Kicking puppies, bad. That's not good. There's nothing good about that. That's an issue of morality. That's morally wrong to do that. But if it's just life instances, things that are just going on in our lives, I didn't get that job. That's bad. Why? Well, because you had a perception of what you wanted to happen, an expectation. And because of that, you now perceive this as bad.
And I said, "Well, yeah, when things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on the other one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. unexpected problems, good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution. That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out, don't get startled, don't get frustrated.
Keep going.
If you can say the word good,
gratitude,
guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, now you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
I still haven't made it to his level of intensity, but I'm almost there with his level of intensity. Okay. That was deep. Good therapy session. Thank you, girls. All right. Well, we miss you, Apollo. Miss you dearly. I have to tell you this. You're going to think I'm crazy. And probably. I don't know. Who knows? I went to Planet Fitness. And I'm over there lifting, and I got my headphones on, and I'm doing my thing. And this young guy comes up to me, and he just has this glow about him. You can just tell he has a good aura. And he comes up to me, and I don't even remember what he asked me because I was so blown away by what had just happened. And this was also something that got me looking at pictures of Apollo. Because you're not going to believe this. We called Zeus. Grace, you couldn't say Zeus. You said Boos. And so he became Boosie. And Apollo was Paulo. But it was Boosie and Apollo. So I get to talking to this guy. He's probably 25, 26 at most. And he's asking me questions about exercise and working out. But he just has this smile on his face where he's just glowing. And he's just got such good energy. I'm so hesitant to tell you this because it just fucking makes no sense at all. Or it does. I don't know. Finally, I ask him. I say to him, yeah, I'm JJ. He says, I'm Buse. I said, excuse me? He said, I'm Buse. I said, your name is Buse? He goes, yeah, my name is Buse. Not Boosie, but Buse. And I went, what? Where did that name come from? I said, that's your given name? Where would that come from? Oh, well, my parents, this and that. And he's telling me the story. And then he goes, and you should meet my brother, Apollo. You're not going to believe it. And he said something like, you're not going to believe and I pointed to his brother. And it's this other young kid, blonde hair this time. Buse had brown hair, and Apollo had blonde hair. And that's when Apollo came over. And these two young kids just sat there, and I'm sitting there going, your name is Buse and Apollo. Now, for me, you can probably imagine the connections I start making in my head. Could it all be a coincidence? Sure. Is it a coincidence to me? I don't believe in coincidences. So, the universe is a wild, wild place. And to think that we have it all figured out is the most arrogant thing we can do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I've been ranting for an hour and 20 minutes now. This is a long one. You're welcome. girls, you cannot, at least as it stands right now, you can't fathom what you do for me and how much motivation, love, drive, purpose you guys give me. There's always something good that can come out of anything. Literally. It may not seem like it in the short term, but prioritize later and the good presents itself. Take those small steps. Don't be afraid to admit your faults. Don't be afraid to turn around and start driving to Moab. It's okay. If somebody gives you grief and says, oh my God, you went the wrong way, tell me why you went the wrong way. Give me an explanation. All right, enough of that. You go out. Spread that love. I'm going to continue to do what I do because I have you guys as motivation. I can never thank